Hey guys, welcome back to our West Carolina Megalodons franchise. We are finishing out year 4, just about to head into the conference championship game and the college football playoff. Sadly though, all things need to come to an end at some point, and most likely this will be the last episode of the franchise. So hopefully we can finish this out on a high note with our back-to-back national championship and back-to-back conference championship games. Hopefully we can win both of those, but we will see how it goes in the rest of this episode. As always, there will continue to be Dynasty content, just probably going to be with a new team, starting over with probably our last team before the new game comes out. See if we can make this one a nice long Dynasty rebuild. So we are continuing on to play against Florida State in the conference championship game. It is a rematch from them absolutely mauling us in our first ever bowl game. Taking a look at the college football playoff right now, we are currently seeded as the 1 seed. Arizona up there at number 3 is kind of different. Heisman chance for Montel Major and Chad Eddy. They both have an opportunity, but we're going to have to ball out in this game. But here we go. This is the chance for revenge, so we gotta wear the South Carolina jerseys, because we are out for blood in this one. We want to get our revenge and get the win. We've pretty much had our revenge on every single team that has beaten us so far to this point. This is the last one on the list. And if I remember correctly, that game was just not close. They really beat us by multiple scores and we could not get anything going. But we are underway here in this ACC Conference Championship game. We are pretty much dead even over here in play styles and yards per game, but they are going to come right out with a play action fake on the first throw, and that one could have been intercepted. Oh my gosh, that one was so close to being intercepted right away. Glad they didn't see the running back, as he would have had so much space. 3rd down and 3, trying to quickly cover the flat, and it's going to be incomplete, forcing the punt situation, and a great defensive stand on the first possession of the game. Coming out on offense, Taylor Rambo trying to wield us to his 2nd national championship. Nobody in any of our franchise histories has had 2 national championships under their belt, and Taylor Rambo is looking to be the first one. Montel Major, though, is the one that we're trying to jump on his back. And Vernon Lyle's been having a pretty good season as well, so we can't also forget about him. Those two have really been the champions of our lineup on offense. Well, we are going to go down for that sack, bringing up a 3rd and 16, throwing that one, and somehow goes to Ron Marshall. We were not expecting that. We definitely wanted to throw that thing deep, but instead, it brings up a punt situation, and Florida State will get the ball back. So they go right back onto the ground game, and defensively our team has been really solid. Led by some of our pass rushers and defensive backs, our full squad has just been so good. And they have been what has been causing us to win half of these games. So yet another 3 and out immediately, and Jadarius Brown is smothered. So we'll go back to the ground game. More power running style for Montel. Nothing really much. We'll go with the play action fake. There is a flag. Is it a free play? We'll try to throw this thing deep. It is caught for a huge gain. But hold up. It is going to come back. There's going to be a holding. And that whole play does not even exist. Andrew Spanway making a terrible choice to get the holding there, causing a 2nd and 20. So get just a few yards back, but not really much. Throwing that into the back of the line and gonna make another punt situation. So this seems like another defensive game. What a kick! To the 9-yard line on that punt. That is an excellent punt. And just a good find in the flat to pick up the 1st down. Under 2 minutes now in the first quarter. Coverage is excellent, and down he goes, Jimmy Ferreira, getting another sack, as he has just been a man on a mission this season again, getting more sacks. 2nd down and long. Little run on the counter play. He's going to get a great gain, actually, making it a 3rd and a lot more manageable than it was. But he's going to throw this thing deep, and it's going to be intercepted by Tyrone Smithfield. Tyrone Smithfield back to the 40, and he's tackled down inside the 40-yard line. Tyrone Smithfield making a great play. We were used to him getting absolutely demolished over the top, but the pass was just slightly underthrown and he was able to capitalize on it. End of the first quarter though, still 0-0. No offense really being shown at all. It's a defensive matchup. Motion over Xavier Lee. See if we can hit somebody over the top. Nope, just going down for the sack, and it's 2nd and long. Play action, has not very much open, but somehow makes a play out of it. Just having to dink and dunk our way down the field. Throws the quick seam, and it is caught for the touchdown for Vernon Lyle. A huge read from Taylor Rambo to thread the needle and get the touchdown of Vernon Lyle as we're up on the board first, 7-0. Just a great find from Taylor Rambo to whip that thing into coverage. Just an excellent play as Florida State will start with the ball again. They're looking to get an answer because they do not want to fall behind. Not really anything doing in the ground game, though. They're going to have to try to throw the passes here. And it's just going to be intercepted again. And it's Jason Cross Jr. who's down the sideline, and he's not going to be fast enough. But a huge interception from Jason Cross, getting closer and closer to the record for school interceptions in the season. Jason Cross is getting real close now, as that was a terrible pass. He was so late. Is to run this up the middle and not get much. Go back to the ground game, and wow, they're just really all over us right now. And Taylor Rambo is going to get out of the sack, breaking a tackle, trying to run around in the pocket, and can't get anything there. We'll have to settle for the field goal, which is up, and it is good. So unfortunately settling for 3 points, but it does make it a 10-0 game, as we'll try to continue to just push the lead. Down to just about 4 minutes left in the quarter. Wow. Good tackle from Deshaun Conway. But this one's going to be a nice run as they get the first down. They're still being pretty conservative, as all they're really doing is run plays right now. We're able to kind of just play super heavy, knowing that they're most likely going to run the ball. DeAndre Harris really getting a nice tackle there. And a huge stop on the screen. Sheldon Dennis read that like a book. And we are going to have another opportunity to put up some points here before the half. So there's 2 minutes left now. Can we get a fast drive? Throwing it deep. It's knocked incomplete. Good coverage. Evan Rhodes had a step, but just couldn't really get too much. Decent run there from Montel Meja. And it's going to open up a throw over the top to Vernon Lyle. Great read and a great throw on the corner out to Vernon Lyle. And that was layered in there beautifully. Throwing that one, and the high pass was knocked incomplete. Just giving this guy a chance. Vernon Lyle's been on fire so far. So just trying to give him an opportunity to continue to make some plays. 3rd down and 10. Throwing it deep again. And we're probably being just a bit too risky there with the deep throws. And instead we're just going to have to punt the ball away. Downing it at the 7-yard line. Throws it quick. He had him. He had a lot of running room there. Billy Turner absolutely whiffed on that coverage. And oh my gosh. I don't know what Trent Bachman was doing, but he was right there and did not even attempt to get an interception. Are they going to try to just run the clock out? Kind of unsure what their goal is here. Down to a minute left. Jimmy Ferreira getting there for the sack again. Another sack for Jimmy Ferreira, his 2nd of the day. But we go offsides. Deshaun Conway jumps, setting up a 3rd and 12, which still should be okay. Big sack, Deshaun, making up for the penalty that he just had, causing a punt situation. There's only a few seconds left. Most likely not going to be able to do much, but what a juke from Jadarius. We have about a play or so throwing this one. He's got a step. Oh, and he drops it. It was a good hit. Good, well-timed hit from the corner. Down he goes. And we're going to the halftime at 10-0. It was a big hit by the defensive back to jar the ball loose from Vernon Lyle, or else we would have had a great opportunity to put him some points here before the half. We will start with the ball at the second half, beginning here with a lead 10-0. Is Jadarius getting a nice seam? So starting at about the 25-yard line with a nice cutback run for Montel Meja. And oh, the spin move almost just launched him. This is one of his biggest runs of the day. Back on the ground game for Montel. He can't get much at all. And it is a 2nd and long situation. No blocking is being done right now. And we're down to 3rd and 16. Quick throw, 4th and inches. Gotta go for it here. We're just going to take the QB sneak and pick it up. We'll continue on. We have to be somewhat aggressive here. He's going to fumble the ball. Montel got absolutely leveled. He trucks a defender and then gets absolutely walloped by one of the safeties of the linebackers. I'm not sure who hit him, but whatever it was a massive collision. And it looks like it was a linebacker. I'm not sure if we can even challenge that. I think he was standing upright. Yeah, I feel like there's nothing there. That's an unfortunate time for us to have a fumble. They're going to pick it up at midfield to start their drive. They're in excellent field position to at least get some points here. If you're Florida State, you have to come away with points. A touchdown would be amazing, but at least 3 points is the minimum required. Oh, wow, that was wide open, but he missed them. So super unfortunate for their team, but great for our defense. But we'll go back on offense then afterward. Just losing yards. Run defense has been pretty good for Florida State, to be honest, right now. And the pass rush has just been kind of insane. We do not have a lot of time. 3rd down and long. Throwing that one. It's a beautiful throw, but dropped from Ron Marshall. The package was not delivered to the mailman as he just could not hook up on it. Good punt, though. Nice bounce out at the 34-yard line. As we'll throw this one. Wow, that was a quick throw. We tried to get a good hit on him, but just a great throw. Good broken tackle. They're going to get the 1st down, and they're just about to midfield already. Throwing the quick smoke screen to get 5 yards. These like quick dink and dunk plays. Another smoke screen. This is how they're moving the ball right now because we just haven't been able to play underneath well enough. Another RPO gets absolutely leveled from Sheldon Dennis. And there's the nice blitz as we're going to get home with the pressure. 3rd and 9, scrambling around and goes down. Devin Skates with yet another sack. He has been coming on strong here the last few weeks. That is a terrible punt, just shanked out of bounds. He punted that probably, what, like 11 yards or something? That was horrific. 2nd down and 8. Throwing a quick throw to Xavier Lee down the sideline, and he's knocked out at the 35. At the end of the 3rd quarter, it's 10-0. West Carolina. One more quarter of play to drain out this clock as Evan Rhodes gets a nice gain of 9. Another motion. This time we'll hand the ball off to Montel, and he's going to pick up that 1st. Trying to not really milk clock, but just to keep the clock moving. We want to limit their possession so they don't have an opportunity to get up some points here. That was not going anywhere. Brings up a big 3rd down situation. Throwing it to Vernon Lyle, who will get the 1st. Excellent job from Vernon Lyle. Pushing himself over the line to gain and getting the 1st. Nothing doing on that one. Underneath to Vernon Lyle again, and he's going to go down to the 1. Inches to go. Back to Vernon Lyle. Touchdown, West Carolina. Got him his touchdown anyway, even though he got tackled on the inch-yard line. And we are up 17-0. Really last possession for them, I think, at this point. That's a great throw. And get him out of bounds. Thank you. Zach Cody barely finding a way to get him out of bounds. And they're just going to make some moves here, but we tackle him in bounds, and that is perfect. We don't want them going out of bounds because we want them to waste their timeouts, as they are just right now picking up yards like nothing right now. Under some serious heat, and down he goes. Sheldon Dennis with the safety blitz. He will get there, and that is a huge backbreaker. That is going to keep the clock moving. Throws it to him and out of bounds for really nothing. It was kind of a wasted play. 3rd and 22 now. Throwing it deep, and that is wide open. We knew we weren't going to be able to cover him forever, as they are at 1st and goal now. Throwing that one into the dirt, nothing doing. 2nd down and goal now. Throwing that through the back of the end zone. Coverage has been excellent so far. 3rd down and goal. trying to scramble with the QB. He's not going to get there. It's 4th and goal. Gonna throw to the end zone. It's knocked incomplete. Billy Turner is going to force the incompletion and turnover on downs. And that is going to end this game 17-0 as we run out the rest of the game. And we get the ACC championship match, the revenge game, and our second consecutive conference championship game and trophy is ours as we are starting to cement ourselves as a premier team and dynasty in this league. Taylor Rambo did what he needed to do. Nothing wowing here, 13 for 20. But Montel Major, kind of same thing. Offensive stats were just not that spectacular by any means. Not even a touchdown, only 52 yards. Averaged like 2.5 per carry. Vernon Lyle had a couple nice big catches, ended up with 2 touchdowns as he was pretty much the entire offense for us. Defensively, it was more of a defensive matchup. Sheldon Dennis had 7 tackles, 4 TFLs for Devin Skates with half a sack, 3 TFLs for Sheldon Dennis and Jimmy Ferreira, 2 sacks for Jimmy. Deshaun Conway had 1 sack, and Paul Wall, Zach Cody, Sheldon Dennis, and Devin Skates all had half of a sack. An interception for Jason Cross Jr. and Tyrone Smithfield. But there we go. The Subway ACC Championship game is awarded to West Carolina, but we are not done yet. We have a few more games to go because we have our sights set on the national championship game. Sean Kamara, the running back, will commit to the program. Same with Gio Cantrell. Program tradition jumping up to a B+. Like I said, we're starting to cement ourselves as one of the premier teams in this league. Vernon Lyle getting himself the ACC Player of the Week. Looking at the actual set lineup for the college football playoff, UAB will go up against LSU, Florida versus Ohio State, Stanford and Arizona, Notre Dame versus Oklahoma, and then the winners will be playing against Kansas State, West Carolina, Oregon, and Georgia. Emmanuel Woods, the running back, is going to commit to the program. And here are some of the awards. So Coach of the Year goes to us, probably Nathan winning the Coach of the Year, as we're just really performing outside of our expectations. Broyles Award goes to Sean Wolford, and sad to say, but the Heisman Trophy goes to Andre Davis of Kansas State. Not our guys. Chad Eddy getting Best Defensive Player of the Year with his 14 sacks, 28 TFLs. Chad Eddy going to win also the Best Defensive End Award. Montel Major ends with 1,363 yards and 16 touchdowns, winning the Best Running Back of the Year. Jason Cross, 7 interceptions, 4 of them for touchdowns. That's insane. That is insane. Winning Best Defensive Back. Glenn Roberts, the punter, wins the Best Punter Award. Sheldon Dennis gets the Best Linebacker Award in his senior season. Chad Eddy, another one, winning the Lombardi. And looking at the All-Americans, Montel Major is going to be a first-team National All-American, along with Chad Eddy for defensive end. We have a handful of signings here. We can actually see what the development trade is. Clifton Stoneburner is going to be normal development. Sadness. We are normal dev for Kareem Loudermilk. Impact for Miles Poole, the corner. Impact for Colin, the right tackle. Cornerback has normal. Kasim is impact. Impact for Steve Garrison, the running back. Normal for Randy Dobbins. James D'Imperio is normal as well. Marquis Thurman is star dev for the tackle. That's pretty nice. Tavarius is impact development. Dalton Brockle is impact for the wide receiver. Star dev for Anthony McKee, right tackle. Normal dev for Quincy Thorne. Johnny Rashid is impact for a wide receiver. Anthony LaRue gets a star dev for the athletic run stopper. That guy looks awesome. Right tackle, impact dev for George Pounds. John Bragg is impact for the athlete center. David is going to be normal development. Josh Jennis is impact. John Kamara, star dev. Awesome. 93 speed too is pretty cool. Gio Cantrell is impact development. Emmanuel Woods is star development, as that rounds out the 23 recruits that we have before the transfer portal. But Ohio State is the first matchup, and that is not an ideal one. They are loaded for this matchup in the Peach Bowl. They are a 90 overall, a 91 offense. I am not looking forward to trying to stop that. But here we go. Ohio State versus West Carolina. I don't know if we've played against these guys before, but we might have. maybe a while back in one of the other college football playoffs, because I don't remember really playing against them in a regular season, since we just don't really play against these guys in the Big Ten very much. But should be a good game. I'm not looking forward to have to go against that man right there, number 4, Jeremiah Smith. I imagine he is going to be a force to be reckoned with how good he's going to be at this point. He's probably going to be either a junior or a senior. And we are underway here in Atlanta. Let's go. They are kind of killing it on offense, not going to lie. Averaging like 500 yards on offense. And the first play is a good stiff arm, and they're getting a nice gain. And that is a huge play. James Peoples looks really fast there, as they'll go right back to Jeremiah Smith, and that was a little speed boost there. I am not looking forward to all of that motion. This looks like that could be problematic, and they're going to go down for the sack. Chad Eddy getting in on the action, forcing a punt situation, and Jadarius Brown will be back to return, and if we could have got outside, that was looking very nice. But Taylor Rambo to come back out onto the field and take control of the offense. Montel Major trying to get himself a nice gain this time, and he gets a good gain on the first play. Montel Major has definitely been one of our better running backs in our YouTube series history. I don't know if I would put him at the number 1 running back we've ever had, but he's definitely up there with some of the other players. I would be very interested to see what you guys thought, as Vernon Lyle is wide open for a huge gain down to the 21-yard line. A great find from Taylor Rambo, and hits Vernon Lyle for the massive gain. And wow, our left guard got demolished. Taylor Rambo dropping back on 2nd and long. Throws it to Vernon Lyle, who keeps his feet in bounds, reverses field, and gets a few. Motioning over our receiver, throws it deep, and he missed him. Just overthrow him, and we'll have to settle for the field goal that is barely good. But we'll get the 3 points. Not exactly what we were going for, but 3 points is better than no points. We at least get something on the board here in the first quarter. About half of the first quarter already over at this point, as they're just going to dump it off quick. Getting just a handful of yards there. I'm wondering if we're going to get an illegal contact, but instead we're going to get contact with the QB, and he goes down. Jimmy Ferreira and Chad Eddy down there for a sack. 3rd and 13, and it's a meeting at the quarterback with the defensive line all invited. Another sack on this quarterback. Ohio State is gonna feel this pressure, as we are getting another sack and forcing a punt. Great opportunity here for Taylor Rambo and company to drive down the field. Do we have somebody open? Just gonna throw it underneath to Deontrez, and he gets a few yards. 2nd down and 2. Little motion over to run the ball off to Montel Major, who hits a huge spin move, and it's a nice gain down to the 24. Another motion as we continue to feed the ball to our star in Montel Major. And he has a great amount of running room. He gets down outside the 10-yard line. I would say Vernon Lyle's also up there with one of the best receivers that we've really had in our YouTube series. Those App State receivers that we had a few dynasties back were pretty insane, and I don't know if we're ever going to get better than that combo. That's probably my rank for the best combo. But Vernon Lyle is no joke either. Gets nailed, Taylor Rambo does, as we're just going to have to settle for yet another field goal as we go up 6-0. Not ideal, because 6 points can be easily erased with 1 touchdown, and everything that we've done is gone. 2nd down and 2. Under pressure, Devin Skates gets another sack. Yet another sack from this defensive tackle. He has been on a mission lately, and it has been so good. Throwing it right at Jason Cross Jr., and he's going to jump over a player, and he's down to the 10, to the 5. Oh, and he's out of bounds at the 2. He was so close to getting his 5th pick 6. Right at the goal line to Montel, and he's in for the score. And that is a huge shift in momentum, as a devastated team only going up 6-0 is now up 13-0 here in the second quarter. James Peoples is running into his own guard and getting really nothing. Just have to throw it out of bounds. Excellent coverage We are really suffocating them right now, except for that was a wide open receiver, and they just missed it. I think we have the QB rattled a little bit. He just can't quite make that throw that he really needed to make to keep them in this game, because we now have an excellent opportunity to be able to try to push forward and push this to a 3-possession game. Montel doesn't get much on that. We'll go back to the play action. Throwing it to Ron Marshall, and a great catch. He's out of bounds for a nice gain, and we are crossed midfield. Montel Major trying to get outside, but just can't. Not quite fast enough there. But Evan Rhodes is pretty fast, as we'll get him with a... Oh, what a back juke. Made that guy look silly out there. 1st and 10. Back on the ground game to Montel, and he's down outside the 20. Already nearing 50 yards on the ground for Montel Major. And Jadarius Brown, you can't forget about him. What a spin move. He's down to the 7. Motioning Vernon Lyle over. Trying to create some confusion, and just barely. What a tackle. Forcing another play for Montel, and he powers his way through for the touchdown. We are up 20-0 now. What looked like a close game is suddenly and quickly looking like it could potentially be a blowout. Gonna throw that one right at Sheldon Dennis. What are you doing? Why are we throwing risky passes like that? Down 20 points. It is not even halftime right now, and we are in a great position to be able to go up by even more. Xavier Lee can't get someone to miss on that. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 5 right before the 2-minute warning, and 51 can't get the block. It's going to end up being a field goal, and actually we might have... Oh, we hit the upright. It's no good, or else that would have been so clutch to get that to 23 points. So back on offense, the play action fake, and they're going to go down the corner safety blitz combo. Comes home quickly, as we were expecting some sort of trickery there. That's why we sent the pressure, and it worked out beautifully. They're going to throw over the middle, and it's somehow dropped. Jason Cross Jr. barely getting a hand in there to lay a hit on the running back and force the drop. Jadarius Brown will get a little return here. We got about a minute and change left. Can we get it over the corner? No. He had a little bit of a step, but just could not quite get it over them. Hit as he throws, and it's almost intercepted. Oh, we can breathe a sigh of relief on that one. But Montel Major with some speed. Oh, not quite fast enough. He almost had that long enough that he could have had a huge touchdown off of it. But instead, we have a 2nd down situation. Just fire it underneath to the mailman. Package delivered on time and on target. And it's 3rd down now. Good backside throw, but he's drilled and it's incomplete, forcing the punt situation. Unfortunately, we can't get the rest of the quarter demolished, but they're at the 5-yard line. We can send some pressure here, and he runs right into Chad Eddy, and he goes down for the sack. And it's a safety, 22-0. West Carolina, you know where to go. Trent Bachman is going to be back for the return. And we're going to be set up here with a couple seconds left. That is a risky throw, and it should have been picked. Needed a high pass there. It was not by any means high enough. Just under pressure, we'll just try to get rid of it so we don't get the sack. And we'll go right back with the ground game. Oh, Montel had an opportunity to cut back upfield. Wasn't able to do it, and the punter's going to get mauled. And we're going to get bailed out. We're going to have an opportunity to be able to run the rest of this clock out, I think. How close are we going to be to field goal range from running into the punter? So we're at the 45-yard line. We'll see if we could get a nice run. We could call a quick timeout, but we don't get it. So we'll just go to the half. It's 22-0. Montel Major having himself a nice outing so far with 73 yards and 2 touchdowns here at the half. And so here is the kickoff at the second half. Looking like a blowout right now, as it is a pretty much a 3-score, well, definitely a 3-score game at this point. If we can get up another score here, I think this game is effectively done. So we don't need to necessarily chew any clock. We want to keep the pedal to the metal, but that's just not going to work out for us that time, as we're going to have to punt the ball away. But we'll down them back at about the 28-yard line. Can the defense continue to hold strong? James Peoples, not much. 2nd down and 7. That little jet touch looks like it could be just so good. Weren't expecting the toss play, and James Peoples gets a nice gain to midfield. 1st and 10. Huge hit from Sheldon Dennis, and he is hyped up right now. As the nice hit on them, and the whatever that tight end run was, I feel like that wasn't the move. Good hit from Devin Skates, forcing a 4th down situation yet again. And the time is just diminishing for Ohio State, although that is an excellent punt. Downing us at our own 4-yard line, and an immediate flag. An immediate flag, not ideal. Holding on us is going to force us even further back, as we're back down on our own 6-yard line right now. They are not going to get much. 3rd and 3. Throws it quick. Vernon Lyle is going to get the 1st down. Able to continue to chew clock. Good job, though. We're going to go down for the sack. Does keep the clock moving, but just not ideal that we took the sack. Getting pretty much those yards back on that RPO, but we'll throw it short of the sticks, and no tackles were able to be broken, so it'll force the punt situation. And Ohio State will get the ball back here. Wow, what a catch off the bounce for Jeremiah Smith. Down to midfield. Keeper on the read option, and he gets leveled. It's nice when we can lay a huge hit on the quarterback. You can't do it very often, so when you get the opportunity to, you gotta lay the wood. Gonna run it back off to Peoples, and what a juke move. He made Zach Cody look crazy out there. Down to the 19. 1st and 10. Throwing it open, receiver, he missed him. Oh, he just missed him. That was an excellent opportunity. And that's going to be... Oh, he dropped it. Sheldon Dennis had an excellent opportunity for an interception. And that one could have been a touchdown as well. 3 straight close opportunities. No dice for any of them. And they'll end up getting 3 points instead. 22-3. Any point scored here for us as Trent Bachman gets a nice return. Any points here, pretty much it's the backbreaker for this Ohio State team. 2nd down and 6. Quick throw on the running back screen, and he's down a little past the 40. Down to the end of the 3rd quarter of play, as we are having a pretty balanced attack, and they are doing nothing on offense. They don't even have 30 yards on either side on passing or running. That is just absolutely wild. We'll bring up a 3rd down and 8 situation, and under pressure, nothing doing. We will have to go for the punt. 7 minutes of play left. They really have no opportunity to mess up right now, as this could effectively be really their last possession. Good find over the middle. Broken tackle, and he's down to midfield. Finally getting an opportunity for them to try to move the ball. Another 10-yard play on the RPO. 2nd and inches, overthrew him. So many incompletions from overthrowings, as that's a good find yet again. That in route is absolutely cooking us right now. Throwing it, and it's deflected by Tyrone Smithfield. Tyrone's normally used to getting burnt there, but it's going to be an interception. Jaquari Brown gets a huge interception, and he's got some space and some speed to the 30, to the 20, to the 10, and he's in for the touchdown. And what should be the game-sealing interception. Jaquari Brown read the eyes of the quarterback, and there was nothing Ohio State could do to keep him out of the end zone. A huge, huge play from the corner that's now moved to linebacker. He was playing the outside linebacker spot for us, and he was just a ball hawk right there. Really just finishing off Ohio State's season with one play. 32-10 is our final score, as we are moving on to the next round of the college football playoff. We are eagerly anticipating who we're going to be playing against. There's a couple people think it could be either K-State or UAB. I'd be very interested to see who that's going to be. Taylor Rambo, again, didn't do much, but we didn't really ask too much of him. But yet, his 2nd game in a row, I believe, with under 150 yards passing. Montel Major, though, having a nice game. 27 rushes for 119 yards and 2 touchdowns. Receiving wise, again, the passing game wasn't huge, so nobody had any crazy stats. Vernon Lyle led the team with 54 yards receiving. Defensively, everyone was pretty balanced. There wasn't any huge standout as far as individual tackles go, but TFLs, Chad Eddy had 4 TFLs and 3 sacks. Jimmy Ferreira had 3 TFLs and a sack. There's also one for Devin Skates. Jay Crawford and Sheldon Dennis both get half of a sack. Interceptions for Jaquari Brown, which was a pick 6. Jason Cross Jr. and Sheldon Dennis. So we got an upgrade for our coach. We have the program builder able to be unlocked, and that is a huge thing for us because we're now able to upgrade our best pipelines and some of our worst pipelines, so it'll make us a whole lot better at recruiting. Chad Eddy wins the ACC Defensive Player of the Week and also one of the National Defensive Players of the Week. And looks like we're going to be playing against UAB in the Cotton Bowl for the next round of the playoffs in the semifinals. Looking at a quick update for people who are close to records here. Looks like Montel Maja's up to almost 1,500 rushing yards right now. 18 touchdowns also for him. A pretty solid year. Over 1,000 yards already for Vernon Lyle. And let's see, TFLs were up to 32 TFLs for Chad Eddy, 17.5 sacks, and we have, 8 interceptions for Jason Cross. So he's getting pretty close to some records too. So, yep, UAB knocks off Kansas State and will be playing against us in the semifinal. And then Oregon beats Arizona 31-19, and they will play against Georgia, who beat Notre Dame 42-36. And I'm hoping that Oregon gets the win there, just because we've played Georgia so many times in these college football playoffs, and it would be nice to switch it up and play against somebody else, which is kind of cool because we're already playing against UAB. So we got some new teams in this college football playoff. Let's see how it goes in the next round. So here we go. UAB versus West Carolina. We gotta wear the blackout unis because it's either going to be our funeral or theirs. Not sure yet, but we're about to find out. They're only an 81 overall squad, so they're actually slightly worse than us because we're an 82 overall team. So who knows how this is going to go because we just absolutely ran through Ohio State and they were up in the 90s. So this one could be a lot uglier, but I don't want to be overconfident because this could be a trap game as well. They've been playing really well and they made it to the college football playoff for a reason. So let's find out what that reason was. We are underway here for the Cotton Bowl. And Jadarius Brown is back to return. Just 2 games away from potentially getting our first back-to-back national championships in our YouTube series history. App State was the only other one, but Montel Maja is going to get a huge run, a great spin move, and he's down to almost midfield on the first play. 27 yards on the ground on the first play of the day. Wow, and Jadarius Brown's looking shifty. This is looking really nice so far. But App State was the only one that has even had an opportunity to win back-to-back, but they did lose to none other than Georgia in their second chance at a national championship. So we did not get it with them whenever we tried that dynasty. This is the only other opportunity we've had so far to win back-to-back. That is a terrible run from Montel. Bringing up a 3rd and 6 situation, and he drops it. Got the ball there in time. Can we make that field goal? That's a tough one. We did. We did make it just enough distance to be able to get the field goal there. Wow, we tried to go around the edge, and a huge little move from the running back. Gets out of bounds, though. Kind of unfortunate for him. Good, fast throw from that QB. He's slinging it right now. 1st and 10. Gonna throw the ball deep, and it's right at who else but Jason Cross Jr., who's just not fast enough to get another pick 6, but another interception. That is his, 9th interception? He is getting really close to DeAndre Harris's record. Throwing it deep to Vernon Lyle, and did he catch it? Wow, they're getting a little chippy out there. Vernon Lyle just bumping right into the corner on the first play. Are they giving him that catch? I feel like they're giving him that catch. Let's see, Taylor Rambo throwing a laser. I don't know. I don't know if that's a complete catch. That looks a little sketchy, but I am not going to review that. Let's just hurry up and snap a play. So it will stand. An excellent quick catch, apparently, from Vernon Lyle, setting us up with a great opportunity, and then he got just right in the face of that defensive back, letting him know about it. Taylor Rainbow's going to break out of the sack animation, and he gets the first down. A great heads-up run from Taylor Rainbow. 1st and goal. Scrambling out again. Taylor Rainbow puts his head down, and he's in for the touchdown. And we are up on the board first. Getting a nice lead over UAB. 10-0 now. First down situation. That was a sketchy throw. We were all over it on the wide receiver screen. They still decided to throw it. Back-to-back wide receiver screens will get them the first. It's just actually wild to do basically the same thing twice and it work out the second time. 2nd down and 3. Quick run up the middle for not much. Bring up a 3rd down. Pressure is coming. QB trying to scramble out with it. He's not able to get the first, and it's a 4th down and a punt situation. As Jadarius Brown will be back with another chance to return. He's got some space to the outside. I don't know if he's going to be fast enough to get by the punter. No. So after the huge return, we're going to come out with a play fake. Throws it deep and is wide open for a touchdown. Xavier Lee. And we're busting the score open, wide open. Early in the game, it's 17-0. And there goes the sack from Jimmy Ferrara. He is going to get the huge sack on the quarterback to 2nd and 24. Bringing the pressure, gets destroyed as he catches it, but he holds on. Another pressure hit, and it's a forced fumble, and it's picked up by Chad Eddy. A huge hit from Jay Crawford, forcing the fumble on the quarterback, and we have the ball at the 5-yard line. This game could effectively be over at the end of the first quarter. This is an absolute rout right now from this defense. We are absolutely annihilating them. Running to the outside, to the 1. Oh, and he knocked out of bounds. Just quite couldn't get into the end zone, but we'll go back on the ground game, and he doesn't get in. We'll end the first quarter 17-0, but somehow does not get in. Running it up the middle and in for the touchdown. Montel Major gets another one on the board. And we are pushing the lead even further. 24-0 here at the beginning of the second quarter. This is a wild game. They need to score immediately. 3rd down now. Good block shed, but they're going to somehow get the first down. Good shifty move from their running back to be able to do that. There, that almost was picked. Holy smokes. Almost got an interception from Tyrone Smithfield. 3rd down and 14. Throwing it to the running back on the screen, and a good tackle is going to hold him short, and it's another punt situation. I mean, we score it all here. This game's done. This game is completely over. A 30-point lead at halftime, and a huge spin move, jumps over a defender, makes another man miss, and he's down to midfield. Montel Major having himself a day right now. Across the 50 to the jet touch to Evan Rhodes to the outside, and it's another first down. 4 minutes left in the half. Montel Major going to get another nice run. I mean, we're getting like 5 yards per carry on these first down carries. That was not the greatest play in the world. Somehow Evan gets back to no gain at all. Definitely thought we were going to lose some yards there. Montel Major, though, getting a nice run up the middle for a first. And he's going to run to the outside. Got some space on the for him, and he's down to the 2. Another opportunity for Jadarius, and he's going to get in for the touchdown. 31-0. Absolutely wild. We're just going to move right along. It's 45-17 final score. They did end up scoring some points. We kind of put some backups in. We kind of just ran clock a little bit. I mean, we didn't really have to press too hard. Taylor Rainbow ended up having 144 yards passing and 4 touchdowns as player of the game, oddly enough. But yet another game where he threw for less than 150 yards in the game. Kind of surprised by that. I don't know when the last time we won 3 consecutive games with him throwing less than 150 yards. But another bowl game win, another trophy in the locker room, and we are going to the national championship, boys. Who are we going to play? Oh, Oregon or Georgia? Taylor Rainbow getting his touchdowns and 1 interception on the day, throwing his first pick in a while in garbage time. But 26 rushes for 142 yards and a touchdown from Montel Major. Taylor Rambo and Jadarius Brown all getting into the end zone as well. Receiving wise, nobody really shot off the map. Nobody even had more than 2 catches, which is kind of wild to absolutely dominate your opponent and nobody have more than 2 receptions on the team. Russ Whalen leading the team in tackles with 9 of them. Jay Crawford and Jimmy Ferreira both getting 8 tackles, 6 TFLs for Jimmy Ferreira, including 3 sacks. Wild game for him. Absolutely making a statement. 2 TFLs for Jay Crawford and Jason Cross Jr. We had 1.5 sacks for both of them as well, and 2 interceptions for Jason Cross. Half a sack for both Chad Eddy and Deshaun Conway. Jason Cross just going crazy, getting 2 sacks. That puts him to 10 sacks. He is 10 interceptions rather. He's tied for the record. Jimmy Ferrer getting the ACC Defensive Player of the Week and the National Defensive Player of the Week. Taylor Rambo also getting the ACC Offensive Player of the Week. And, looks like we're playing against Oregon to head in the national championship game. Can we beat them and solidify ourselves in history as a back-to-back national champion? Oregon beat Georgia by a margin, 48-10. Wild margin. I mean, they pretty much dominated every opponent they played. So this one might be a tough one. If they've been dominating their opponents and we've been dominating ours, it's time to bring the kind of powder blue jerseys out here for our last game in West Carolina history. This is probably going to be our last game. We need to come out here with a win. So we're going to be pressing hard to see if we can finish off this tournament and finish off this dynasty. Rebuilding a powerhouse from a walk-on school, from a school with 50 overalls, 40 overalls. This was a terrible program. And we have brought them all the way back with just low-rated recruits. We didn't even have a blue-chip recruit on this entire roster. We still don't, because we didn't even get to a level 3 program yet. But even despite all of those challenges, plus recruiting restrictions and other things, we have fought and battled our way through all that adversity to get to the spot that we are right now. Sheldon Dennis laying a nice hit on the running back, and he throws it, and Sheldon almost got the interception. That would have been such a huge play, and a first sack from Trent Bachman. Don't even know what he was doing back there, but he is going to get home for the sack, and it's going to bring up a punt on the first drive for Oregon. This is a great way to start the game. We've also started slow on offense a decent amount of the time, but this playoffs has been a little bit better. We have been at least putting up some points on early drives, and we need to continue to do that in this one. Montel Major getting some nice yards on that first carry. He'll go up the middle and get really not much, bring up a 3rd and 4 situation. Quick throw to Vernon Lyle and a first down. Keeping the chains moving. Another similar play over the middle. Gets a couple more yards, a 2nd and 4. Tries to fake on the ground game, gets it to Vernon Lyle on the RPO, and we will pick up the first. Down on the ground game, Montel charging his way forward for 3 more yards. He has been a workhorse back for us, and he just likes to fall forward. 3rd down and 3. Quick throw, Ron Marshall first down. Getting to about the red zone, and he missed him. He definitely had him there by a step or so. A little better pass would have been beautiful, but instead we'll go down for the sack, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down situation. Maybe a little PI there. I definitely feel like we could have done something there, but that is a terrible kick. Horrendous kick, and it's still scoreless. So Oregon back with the ball again here on offense. Good little quick find, and they will get the first down. Good running with the ball after the catch. Good speed from this man, and he is flying down the field to the 30. A huge run. And over the middle, wide open, is the tight end, and he's down to the 1. Can we hold him out? They're having a crazy drive. No, we can't. 3 plays, touchdown, Oregon. That is not ideal, and we're going to block the kick. It's picked up by Russ Whalen. Go, Russ Whalen. All the way down the field to the 50. I think he's going to be fast enough. There's nobody catching him. And we're going to block the extra point and return it for a scoop two. I don't even know what to say. That is going to be a 6-2 score. And we'll get the ball back. So the momentum was gone for a second. And I feel like we just got a huge amount of momentum back right there. I don't know. It is not common to block the extra point. But that block was wild. 3rd and 2. Let's not toil it right now. 1st down, good catch. Holding on to that was huge to pick up that 1st down. 2nd down, and we'll throw that. And it's way over his head and out of bounds. 3rd down. Under pressure, throws it into the back of the lineman, and we're heading to a punt again. Punting it off. We'll hope that he doesn't get it off the bounce, and I don't know why the play was called dead there. But we'll take it because that could have been a massive return. This is not looking great. This is kind of similar to whatever we played against Nebraska in one of our dynasties. That game we were down pretty well. I think it was Kennesaw State versus Nebraska National Championship. We were pretty far behind and found a way to claw ourselves back to win that game. This one is kind of giving off some similar vibes right now. Oregon just seems like a better team and seems like they're playing really well right now. We're going to have to find ways to make them make mistakes. Good tackle short of the sticks will bring up a punt situation and give us another opportunity to get down the field and score some points. 1st down run. Montel Major, great job. Great vision to cut back up field and get a huge gain out of really almost nothing. 4 more yards to Montel. We're going to go with the play action fake. Scrolling out and just dumps it off to Deontrez Biggers, who will get a nice gain with 3rd and inches. Up the middle for the 1st. Perfect. Just continue to keep moving the sticks. And wow, that was a lot of pressure. Taylor Rainbow could not get the pass off on his back foot. And there's really nobody there. Just have to throw the ball out of bounds. Bringing up a 3rd and 10. Not exactly what we're looking for. Throwing that one, and it hit him in the hands. Package not delivered. Another flag. Is this the 2nd time we've had a flag like this for running into the kicker just in this postseason alone? It's tough to not want to take that, to decline that, because we had such a great punt, but we are going to have a great opportunity here to put up some points. So we'll go right with the 1st down play on the screen pass. Perfect job for Montel Major to find a way to get the 1st. 2nd down and 4. Up the middle again. Gets a couple more. 3rd and short. Can we get the 1st? Great job for Montel using his blockers effectively and getting the 1st down. Not a good play on 1st down though, causing us to have to be behind the chains now. 3rd and 7. Throwing it. That was sketchy. That was a great play by the linebacker, forcing us to have to kick the field goal, which we do hit. We barely hit. Was a close one. I was not fully confident on that, but we are still down 5-6. What a weird score. With 2 minutes left in the half. Down he goes. A sack from Deshaun Conway. Huge sack from Deshaun Conway. Making it 3rd and 12, and Sheldon Dennis is going to get him in the backfield. We're calling a timeout. 4th and 13, and it's a punt situation. We've got a little over a minute remaining to find a way to get some points. Can we get a touchdown? Can we get a field goal? Something to help us get the lead before the half. Montel Major trying to get to the outside, not fast enough, gets 2. Back to the play action fake, scrambling out. Finds a wide open Ron Marshall, who gets a huge gain, keeping his feet in bounds, and he's down to the 23. Empty backfield, breaking the sack, and then gets leveled. The pressure was way too intense. Taylor Rainbow really couldn't do much of anything. They're breaking another sack, and it gets leveled again. The pressure is crazy. 2 straight sacks. And now we actually are going to somehow get it off, and it's a touchdown. We go for 3 straight empty backfield sets, trying to see if we can find something to throw deep. On the 3rd play, 2 sacks, and then we throw a deep bomb to the end zone to Vernon Lyle, who holds on from a beautiful throw from Taylor Rainbow to give West Carolina the lead here right before the half. We'll go for the 2-point conversion, and that is just absolutely blown up. Number 23 is an absolute animal. for Oregon. He has been all over the field. But Vernon Lyle, 8 targets, 5 catches, 66 yards, and a touchdown. He has been the guy for us so far. Montel Major also having a pretty solid day. Kickoff is away for the second half of this national championship game. Giving it to Montel Major, trying to find some space, gets 3. Dropping back, throwing underneath to Xavier Lee, who gets a couple more yards, makes it 3rd and 1. We have just enough room on these run plays to get that 2 to 5 yards on the ground, really helping us to move the chains, though that one was completely blown up. 4-yard loss. Throwing it to the corner, and he missed him by a mile. 3rd and 14. Wide open receiver, he overthrow him. Overthrows the completely wide open man. Super unfortunate, but an amazing punt to down him at the 21. That is such a great net gain punt. That is wild. Oh, we thought for sure he was going to scramble there. He did not, though. Really thought he was going to scramble on it. And that is just a good find. Not fast enough reaction time from the corner to get there in time. But a quick throw to the flat. That's a huge gain. And they're down past the 50. Down to the 43-yard line. A good possession throw and catch. They'll go with the draw play and get back to the line of scrimmage. It's 2nd and 10. Throwing it. And it's knocked down from our man on the outside. Great job from Billy Turner, and that's somehow dropped. Sheldon Dennis drops it, allowing them to have a chance for a field goal that they do hit. Oh, this is such a weird score. 9-11 is the score right now with 4 minutes left in the 3rd. 2nd down and 4. Has him beat deep, and he missed him. Misses his receiver. I'm glad he hit the first one. Breaking the sack. Trying to run around in the pocket and just goes down. It's a flag. There was no reason to risk anything here, because an interception would have come back against us. They could have declined it and kept it. Either way, though, we have to punt the ball away. And the good bounce will set them up at the 32-yard line. Throwing it quick. Knocked down. Good quick play. 3rd and 11 after the tackle that was not going anywhere. And they're just going to throw that thing out of bounds. It's an immediate punt. Back and forth defensive possessions right now. Jadarius Brown with an opportunity to return. Breaks a tackle and gets to the 26. We'll go with the jet touch. Haven't really used one in a hot minute, but Xavier Lee getting walloped for really nothing at all. Not really worth it by any means. Breaking another sack. I've noticed that Taylor Rainbow went up to gold extender. He had silver extender for a while there. Breaking another one and barely gets rid of it. He is on another level right now. Getting all these broken sacks are absolutely wild. It has been so clutch for us to be in a situation to still stay competitive in this game. That is such a wide open receiver. I don't know who was supposed to be covering him, but there was nobody on that side of the field. Down he goes for the sack, DeAndre Harris. Getting in there for the sack at 2nd and 16. Throwing it right at Tyrone Smithfield. Great coverage. 3rd and 16 now. Throwing it. It is intercepted from Russ Whalen. A beautiful interception helping us to try to get some more of the time off this clock. We'll try to go back to the ground game with Montel. 2nd down and 7. Quick little RPO flat. Center is injured. Not sure what that's going to do for us, because Russ Westbrook is one of our better players, but Ron Marshall with an amazing grab. Great run after catch, and we are already set up with a nice game. End of the 3rd quarter, 9-11. Such a weird score. Very similar stats pretty much across the board for both of us, as it's been a defensive showing. Good spin move from Montel Major. Had the safety looking silly out there. And the blocking is immaculate for Montel Major, getting a nice 1st down carry. He's up to 81 yards on the ground. Jadarius will get a few yards. We have Excel clock turned on. We want to be draining this clock down for sure. And down he goes with a huge sack. It's going to take us out of field goal range. That is so unfortunate. And that might not be a good punt. Oh, it is. It's beautiful. It's out at the 3. We send some pressure here, and oh, that was almost so close. We chose the wrong gap, and they almost just took that thing to the house. Oh, and a quick throw, but he's smothered from Tyrone Smithfield. bringing a ton of pressure, and down he goes. Jimmy Ferreira with the safety. 13-9. Let's make the score even weirder. Another 2-point play. Our second 2-point play of the day. One, a blocked field goal, or blocked extra point scoop and score, and then a safety. So it's 19-3. And we get the ball back. That is the best thing that could possibly have happened, because now we're going to get an opportunity to run even more time off the clock, perpetually making them not even be able to get the ball back the whole quarter. That would be the best possible thing. For that to happen, we are going to have to pick up this third down, as we have a good throw to Montel Meja, and he gets the first down, stays in bounds, and we're down to 2.5 minutes now. Need to get a first down. 2-minute warning. Trying to run with Montel. He gets down to inches. We're going to put Jadarius Brown in. Montel Meja took a giant shot. We'll let him relax on the sideline for a bit because we don't want to force the fumble. Oregon is now officially out of timeouts, and we are one first down away from icing the game. Third down run. Jadarius Brown can't get it, and it's going to be a field goal opportunity. We need to drill this field goal. The kick is up, and it is good. Whew, a sigh of relief on that one, because that at least makes it a touchdown game now, as that is the only way that they can tie this game. No longer does a touchdown win the game. They could, I guess, go for 2 if they wanted to, but they have all day back there. There's going to be somebody open. They have all day. Running around all day, and he just finally throws it out of bounds. I'm not really sure why he didn't just let that thing rip, but instead he's going to go down for a sack. It's going to be a massive sack, and that's going to end the game. A huge sack is going to force the play to be over, and your national champions for the second year in a row, West Carolina. The Megalodons have done the impossible. A walk-off complete lineup has officially won 2 national championships. No blue chip players on this roster. We have done it, hoisting the national championship trophy for the second year in a row. Taylor Rambo becoming the first quarterback in our YouTube history to win 2 national championships in his career, and we hope to find more quarterbacks like him, as he was more or less of a game manager than a takeover quarterback. But that's not necessarily a bad trait either. He did what he needed to win and led us on a huge amount of wins, where he hardly lost any games at all in his entire college career. Vernon Lyle had a huge game in this one. Montel Meja had a huge game in this one, but really that defense is just a stout defense. The interceptions, the sacks, the forced fumbles, those are the difference maker on this team. 17 for 30 for 185 yards and a touchdown. Taylor Rambo did not throw for 200 yards in any game this entire video. Running wise, 23 rushes for 97 yards for Montel Meja, just barely missing his 100-yard game. And receiving wise, nobody went crazy. A couple people with 60 yards, both Ron Marshall and Vernon Lyle. Defensively, like I said, though, Sheldon Dennis was the guy right there with 7 total tackles, 3 TFLs for Jimmy Ferreira, 2 for Sheldon Dennis and Trent Bachman, 2 sacks for Trent Bachman, oddly enough. And also, multiple people had 1 sack. DeAndre Harris, Deshaun Conway, Sheldon Dennis, Jimmy Ferreira, and an interception for Russ Whalen. But look at that, boys. National champions. Second year in a row. West Carolina. Now we're looking at the total season stats for the squad. Taylor Rambo having 3,500 yards passing is where he ended. 28 touchdowns to 8 interceptions. More interceptions than I believe he's had in any of his other seasons. Looking at Taylor Rambo's stats, he has definitely taken a little bit of a step back. His QBR has gone up every single year, but he had less passing yards, less touchdowns, and more interceptions, so not as ideal. Did take less sacks, but threw the ball a ton less. Better completion percentage, better yards per attempt. Montel Meja, 1,700 yards on the ground. That is officially a season record, the most rushing yards in a season in West Carolina history. He barely did not get the touchdown record, but he broke his own record for rushing yards up to 1,721 on the year. 1,500 was the last record. 19 touchdowns this year, 15 last year. The record is 20. He's so close to breaking also the touchdown record, but he has been an animal for us and a legend here in West Carolina. He got another 100 carries more this year than he did last year, and he really made the best of them. Looking at receiving stats, Vernon Lyle led the team in receptions with 70. He also had 1,100, almost 1,200 receiving yards and 11 touchdowns, pretty much leading in every single statistical category for everyone on this team, as he had a huge boost. Didn't play really at all last year, only had 23 yards on 4 catches. Had a nice season in 2025, but took a huge jump this year, up to his first season ever over 1,000 yards, and he had almost 1,200. Evan Rhodes getting his first actual season starting, gets 44 catches for 633 and 6 touchdowns. Little bit of a ways to go before he becomes a dominant threat, but he still is a sophomore and still a young player. Xavier Lee, one of the 4-year starters, one of the rare all 4-year starters. Took a little bit of a decline this year. Is his worst statistical year out of everybody, though. He did get more receptions than any previous season, but he only had 4 touchdowns compared to the 6 he had last year. But he's just always been a consistent receiver for us. Ron Marshall took definitely a step back from last year, only having 560 yards and 3 touchdowns compared to his 1,211 touchdowns the year before and almost 1,000 in his freshman year. We just had more weapons and we're trying to spread the ball around a little bit more. We were less one-dimensional, and he just didn't get as much benefit as he did the first 2 seasons. Also playing some harder opponents. I don't think he was just getting open as much as he was against some of the group of 5 schools. Looking at the defense, leader in tackles, none other than Sheldon Dennis. 92 tackles on the season for him. Really, really good year for him. TFL leader, 35 TFLs for Jimmy Ferreira, 33 for Chad Eddy. But Jimmy Ferreira's 35 is officially a record. That is the most TFLs in a single season in our franchise history. Sheldon Dennis, no scrub either, with 24 of them. Sacks, 18 sacks for Chad Eddy, 13.5 for Jimmy Ferreira, 7 for Deshaun Conway, and 6.5 for Jay Crawford. 10 interceptions for Jason Cross Jr. That is officially a record. And Glenn Hicks had 5. I mean, he started the season with 3 there and just couldn't quite continue it on. Jimmy Ferreira pretty much having an exactly identical season in most of the stats here, which is kind of wild. TFL's very similar. Interceptions the same, tackles the same, like everything the same. Just a little bit less sacks, only at 13.5 this year. Record was 19, so he just wasn't quite there to be able to get that one. Sheldon Dennis, one of the other 4-year starters, has continued to just get better and better every single season. Been an 87-plus tackler for 4 straight years, more TFLs, still had more pass deflections, still had 4 interceptions, a little less sacks because we had some different people we could send pressure to, but he has just been clutch for us. Chad Eddy in his first year, 1 sack away from tying the record and 2 sacks away from breaking it. That was so crazy as a true freshman, or as a redshirt freshman. Billy Turner had a massive year, 56 tackles. 3 interceptions, 6 pass deflections, 2 TFLs. He was all over everywhere. One of the underrated guys, I think, is Deshaun Conway. He's been kind of flying under the radar. Was a true freshman last year, and then this year had pretty identical stats. Getting 11 TFLs, 7 sacks for the second consecutive season. Now we're looking at the career stats. Just to kind of sum it up here, almost 12,000 yards passing for Taylor Rambo. His 96 passing touchdowns to 18 interceptions. Completion percentage is up to 61%, averaging 251 yards per game. He has been a pretty consistent and reliable passer for us. Taylor Rambo is the all-time passing leader in passing yards and touchdowns for our franchise. Running back-wise, Montel Mejia, 3,200 rushing yards so far in his young career. Montel Mejia not quite the all-time running record leader, and passing and rushing touchdowns, he was also close. He has 34 of them. He would need 4,000 rushing yards and 40 touchdowns, or 41 touchdowns for that record. Ron Marshall up to 2,728 yards. Xavier Lee also had almost 2,600. Vernon Lyle at 2,100. All 3 of those guys having really, really good careers for us. But you would need almost 3,500 yards receiving for the record, so we were not going to be able to get that one. But only 24 touchdowns is the receiving record, so Ron Marshall was pretty close to being able to break that one. TFL-wise, Jimmy Ferreira is definitely our TFL leader. No doubt about it. He is also our all-time sack leader, as he has 30.5 sacks on top of those 68 TFLs. Sheldon Dennis with 51 TFLs is kind of underrated for being a middle linebacker. And Chad Eddy down there with 18 sacks is putting himself in some pretty nice company to be able to get somewhat close to that Jimmy Ferreira record. Problem is, Jimmy Ferreira is only 1 year older and has, 11.5 more sacks. Interceptions, DeAndre Harris is the all-time interceptions leader with 13. Both Sheldon Dennis and Jason Cross Jr. have 10 interceptions. Jason Cross did that in a single season. So he is just balling out right now. Looking at the graduating players, Andrew Spanway, one of our right tackles, he graduates. Xavier Lee, DeAndre Harris, DJ Dean, Sheldon Dennis, and Rick Smart, Jamari Holloman. Those guys are some names that you probably recognize here that are leaving. We are officially up to a 4-star school, though, so we can get every single thing that we want. 4 stars, 5 stars, all those fun things. Too bad we've already won back-to-back national championships, so we won't be continuing on, but recruiting could have been insane. As we'll look at the draft results, I'm not expecting anyone gets drafted here. Unfortunately, no, nobody gets drafted on the lineup, so kind of sad, but we end up our final career at 46-13 is our career win percentage, having 3 winning seasons, winning 78% of our games. Just playing really, really well down the stretch. We had a really rough beginning season. We were 4-8 right out the gate. Went to 9-5, and then haven't lost since. 2 straight seasons of undefeated play, winning 2 national championships. Just playing so well. And more or less, if you guys were wondering to see where everyone went to at the end of that upcoming off season. I mean, we jumped up to a couple 90 overalls here, some high 80 overalls. I'll kind of fast forward, show you some of the recruits that we ended up finding. So we left off here. We got Cam Pringle. He is a star dev left tackle. One of the first 4. He's actually, I think, the first 4-star that we ever signed in this history of our program. He looks insane with 99 strength and 94 impact blocking. This guy would be, wow. This guy would be incredible. Maurice Davis, impact dev right end. He's got 93 excel. He looks like he'd be kind of wild as well. Alonzo Perry, the center. He is a star dev player. These 4-star guys just look so good compared to seeing all these 3-stars for so long. Dylan Gaines, cornerback. He's a 4-star. He's got 94 speed. He's a star dev. He has 96 change of direction, which is wild. Looks like he would be an insane man corner. 94 catching. 87 press. This guy looks ridiculous. Gabe Williams, outside linebacker. He's star dev. He's got 86 speed. He's got 96 play rec and 93 acceleration. A lot of abilities. This guy looks really solid. Kentrell Dahl, the running back. 92 speed, 90 change of direction. Micah Burt. He's a D-tackle with elite dev for a 4-star run stopper. That would be wild, especially as a sophomore. This guy looks like he could be a starter for years to come. Anthony Wilbur's normal development. Impact dev for Dontre Henderson, the corner. He's got 96 speed and 94 excel. Casey Hearns' impact development for an athletic possession guy. Might be a linebacker, might be a tight end. End up finding the 23rd ranked class in the nation. Another top 25 record for us. We end up getting 8 4-star commits and 25 3-stars. Finally finishing out with an 86 overall squad across the board. But boys, that is going to end this dynasty. Thank you guys so much for watching it. West Carolina was a super fun rebuild, starting off with a walk-on program with 0 basically overalls, grinding all the way to our first and second national championship game. I hope you guys enjoyed it a ton. Let me know in the comments what you guys thought about it, who your favorite players were, and what your favorite moments were from this entire dynasty. But I'll be seeing you guys pretty shortly here with another series that we're going to be starting up here pretty soon, where we're going to be rebuilding yet another team and trying to win some more national championships. So I'll see you guys in that one, but in the meantime, why don't you look at one of these ones?